There are several mysteries surrounding Michael Jackson's passing. Yet, Tito Jackson, the elder sibling, reduces it all to a single question: why him? There are sometimes no answers, he continued. Perhaps in the course of my lifetime, I'll figure it out. However, some information regarding the pop star's passing has leaked out. His final dress rehearsal was documented through interviews with This Is It tour participants. What happened in Jackson's dying hours is also detailed in the timeline taken from the affidavit used to secure the search warrant. The affidavit relied on facts and testimonies from witnesses, including Jackson's physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, who was later indicted for involuntary manslaughter in connection with Jackson's death. But Murray's lawyer says that's not true. On the 24th of June, 2009, Michael Jackson started the morning doing what he loved, getting ready for a show, inside his mansion as the sun rose above the upscale community of Bel Air in Los Angeles, California. At his house, I would begin around noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We would then stretch and dance for a few more hours, remarked Travis Payne, Jackson's longtime choreographer. Payne served as the associate director for the planned This Is It concert series, which Michael Jackson was slated to start on July 13 at the O2 Arena in London, England. Payne was also the assistant director for the series. On the afternoon of June 24, Michael Jackson showed up to rehearse in the Staples Center, which is located in the downtown area of Los Angeles. Payne explained that this was the first time they had performed the entire act in its entirety. Michael arrived at the studio at the customary time, just after he finished his vocal warm-up and other preparations. It was about the middle of the afternoon, and we were working hard to accomplish everything that we had planned to achieve. On the surface, Jackson had never appeared to look better than he did at that moment. He had a keen mind. There was no sign that there was anything wrong with the situation. He didn't seem weak. He didn't seem like something was wrong. There was no indication that anyone should have thought, I wonder what's going on with Michael, since there was none. Dorian Holley, who served as Jackson's vocal director, stated. He appeared to be in excellent shape. Even though I had worked on all of his tours for the last 22 years, it was still impossible for me to concentrate on the tasks I needed to complete without looking at him while he was performing. Michael Burton, who composed the music for This Is It, joined Michael Jackson on stage for the last rehearsal of the performance. You could feel his self-assurance rising, and you could also see that he was getting to the point where he was physically able to perform the things he wanted to do. That came out of me completely unintentionally. It's almost as if the stage is where he matured, and I got the impression that he was getting more at ease with each passing day, explained Bearden. There was an undeniable radiance about Michael. Around midnight, Jackson was seen leaving the Staples Center. As he passed me, he embraced me and said, "You know, I love you," before continuing on his way. I ended the conversation by telling Mike, "I love you," and that was that, said Holly. I responded with, "All right, love you," and he responded with, "Love you more, see you tomorrow," and I responded with, "Love you too, and I'll see you tomorrow," said Payne. However, that was the last time Jackson ever said goodbye. According to an affidavit that was used to get a search warrant, Murray informed the police that it was a restless night that was eventually caused by drug use because Jackson was battling his chronic insomnia. According to the allegations, Jackson begged Murray to administer the potent and potentially lethal anesthetic propofol to him. I always said that Michael would have paid $1 million for a decent night's sleep, and I still believe that he would have done it to the best of his ability. And that is not a hyperbolic statement, remarked J. Randy Taraborelli, a Jackson confidant for his whole life, as well as a biographer. Jim Morit, the chief correspondent for Inside Edition and a former anchor for CNN, stated that Michael Jackson suffered from sleeplessness for a considerable amount of time. Simply put, he suffered from a terrible case of insomnia and was unable to fall or stay asleep. For him to be able to sleep, he relied on medical professionals to prescribe him the appropriate medication. The 25th of June in 2009 is today. At approximately 1:30 in the morning, Murray allegedly gave Jackson a tablet of Valium containing 10 milligrams to induce him to sleep, as stated in the affidavit for the search warrant. After that, at 2 in the morning, Murray allegedly administered the anti-anxiety medication Ativan to the singer via intravenous (IV) injection. But Murray reported to the police that Jackson was still awake at 3 in the morning despite his having taken Versed, which is another sedative. According to the affidavit, Michael Jackson was later given 2 further milligrams of Ativan as well as 2 additional milligrams of Versed. However, neither of these treatments proved to be effective. Murray claims that Jackson's true desire was to be given the anesthetic propofol. According to what Murray told the investigators, despite Jackson's numerous demands for the medicine, he did not deliver it to him at any point. Murray claimed that at the time, he was actively working to wean Jackson off of propofol because he was concerned that Jackson was becoming addicted to the drug. Murray's lawyer, Ed Chernoff, said that the doctor was right and does not have any special training in helping people get over their addictions. That is true. But then again, he said, who has been trained in propofol addiction? Who, besides you, is hooked on a drug like propofol? Who? Do you see? There is no plan for how to get someone off of that kind of drug. The affidavit says that as dawn broke at 100 North Carolwood Drive, Michael Jackson was still awake, upset, and begging for propofol. No one could tell Michael Jackson what to do, and that was a big problem, Tara Borelli said. And anyone who worked for Michael or knew Michael will tell you that this was a man who lived his life on his terms. Police investigators said after hours of denying Jackson propofol, Murray finally caved. At 10:40 a.m., he gave the pop legend 25 milligrams of propofol mixed with the local anesthetic lidocaine through an IV drip. Jackson went to sleep. From what the affidavit says, Dr. Murray got up at 10:50 a.m. to go to the bathroom. Murray says that he went back to his famous patient a few minutes later and found that he was no longer breathing. He says that he then started CPR and injected 0.2 milligrams of the drug Anexate, which is used to counteract the effects of drugs that make people sleepy. But no one can argue about when the 911 call was made. Around 12:22 p.m., Alberto Alvarez, Jackson's security guard, called 911. Fire Station 71 in Los Angeles came to help. When they got on the scene, it's a large mansion not too far from here. They were directed to the patient that was upstairs in the home, and they found their patient was Michael Jackson, later identified to us as Michael Jackson, pulseless, not breathing, said Captain Steve Ruda, a spokesman for the LA Fire Department. No heartbeat and no breath means there is no heartbeat and no breath. Michael Jackson was officially pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. by a doctor at UCLA Medical Center, almost 4 hours after Murray told investigators he saw the singer wasn't breathing. The search warrant affidavit says that Murray wouldn't sign the death certificate. The Los Angeles coroner would declare Jackson's death a homicide. Cause of death: acute propofol intoxication. Murray was later charged with killing someone without wanting to. He said he wasn't guilty.